What's going on, guys? I'm your host from the East Coast, Gina Man 94, here to bring you guys my WWE Monday Night Raw review for January 30th, 2017. We had a actually pretty good episode of Raw, dare I say. From top to bottom, it was a pretty solid show. It was first time in a long time we've actually had a really solid show to, stay invested in for a whole 3 hours. So let's get into it. This is the first time in a few weeks I've done a Raw review, but I felt like this one was worthy enough, and it was actually a pretty good show. So Raw kicked off with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Of course it did. Both showing, the scars from last night's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Kevin Owens more so because, he was in a no disqualification match with Roman Reigns. And they just pretty much killed each other. So they went all over the place using all types of weapons and stuff. So he was showing those injuries. Jericho a little bit, from, I guess, being in the shark cage and, lasting an hour in the Royal Rumble match. Owens got into the ring and said, everyone thought he had no chance of walking out as champion, and he's just been proving people wrong. He said he did beat Roman Reigns, and the person who helped him beat him was Chris Jericho, and he thanked him for helping him last night or whatever. And then, he told Jericho to brag about being in the Royal Rumble match for as long as he was. And, they were just putting each other over and putting themselves over. And that's when Braun Strowman came out. Yeah, we got the Strowman. Braun Strowman came to the ring because he was actually the one who actually helped Owens keep the title. And Owens just immediately was thanking him as soon as he got in the ring. He was like, Braun, I was just about to say, thank you for helping me win the match. And, just kissing his ass. And Strowman was like, he didn't want his thank you. He didn't want, all of that. He did what he did last night for two reasons. One, because he hates Roman Reigns. And two, because he wants the title shot that Owens promised him. Owens was just like, I didn't promise you a title shot. What are you talking about? And Strowman was like, oh, you didn't? I have this footage that proves you did. And he rolled the footage. And then Owens, when I guess Strowman was having his match with Reigns, Owens wanted him to take him out. So he was just like, hey, if you do this, you'll be next in line for a title match. And Owens was like, this got to be photoshopped or something. I don't remember saying that. And Strowman was like, well, you said it, and I want my title match, or I'm going to break you in half. And that's when Mick Foley came out in this ridiculous green suit. Man, this man Foley, he doing way too much. He is doing way too much with these costumes he be having on. And then he came out and said that Owens did promise Strowman a title match, and that he's going to have to defend his title. Owens went crazy saying he went through hell last night and he shouldn't have to defend his title, and the match he had with Reigns was hellacious and he shouldn't have to do this. And Foley pretty much just said, fuck your feelings. You're defending the title tonight either way. But after that, Chris Jericho had a match with Sami Zayn. I don't know. Did Owens stay out there? I don't know if Owens stayed out. Nope, Owens went to the back. So, two men that came up short in the Royal Rumble, but had very impressive showings, or having a match, I guess. I didn't think I'd see these two face off, so, I appreciated the new matchup. This was a pretty good match, too. A nice match to kick off the show, considering the promo segment wasn't as long as it normally is. These two are both good workers, so it's not hard for them to put on a good match. You could tell they were fatigued a little bit, like halfway through the match, they both got a little bit gassed, but, they were both in the Rumble match for a very long time, and Jericho was in that shark cage, so you knew he was tired. He looked the most tired out of both of them. Sammy's still doing his normal, unorthodox offense that he does, and, just doing outlandish moves, and just pretty much doing whatever he can to win the match. He does this whole Blue Thunder Ball or Blue Thunder Bomb, and, the DDTs off the top rope. He went for the between the ropes DDT that he does on the outside of the ring. He didn't get a chance to hit that, though. Doing the backflips off the barricade. You know how Sami Zayn rolls. He gets the crowd hyped up. Jericho got Sami Zayn into the walls of Jericho, which Zayn worked his way out of, hit the exploder suplex, and then hit the haluva kick and knocked off the United States champion. I'm actually shocked that he won, and maybe he earned himself a United States title shot at Fastlane. Maybe Jericho will be feuding with him, and maybe that'll be the way that they take the title off of him. So I don't know. Very excited to see that, see where that goes, considering he beat the champion. So he has a very good case that he's the next one to go for the United States Championship, and I hope they continue with that story. After that, we had a backstage segment. Cesaro and Sheamus were arguing with each other all over again because they lost their tag team championships to Gallows and Anderson. And about, how Cesaro almost swung him in the Royal Rumble match. And then, they were just getting heated and more heated. And then Bayley came up to both of them trying to get them on the same page because they had a 6-person mixed tag match. And I was kind of mad. Bayley seemed so happy that they had a 6-person mixed tag match. I'm just like, didn't you lose last night to Charlotte in like an embarrassing fashion? Like y'all had a good match, yes, but at the same time, didn't she hit natural selection on the apron? The hardest part of the ring, if I can hack Taz for a little bit, the hardest part of the ring. And you took that finisher, and that was the reason you lost. Like, why are you happy? She was just so happy. She didn't care that she lost her match last night or nothing. She was just no-sell Jones. And then that's when Charlotte, Gallows, and Anderson popped up. They started making fun of them, called them losers and failures. And I think Gallows called them all nerds or something like that. And yeah, that was pretty much all of it. Bayley went to go jump at Gallows, but when Charlotte was talking all that mess to her, she didn't move. She didn't budge. So it's just so confusing. Like, why is she not trying to go after Charlotte? Why is she not bringing out that aggressive side that she had in NXT? It's so different when they get to the main roster with some of these people because they're not the same. And, the things that I enjoyed about them down, in NXT are not being shown. Things that made them better. But I'll talk about that match in a little bit. And then we had another backstage segment. Kevin Owens went to Stephanie's office complaining about the title match that he had against Braun Strowman later on. He said he was trying to live up to their expectations and do exactly what they're saying, but he's hurt. And Braun Strowman's probably the biggest and strongest man they got in the WWE. And he just wanted to not have to face him tonight, at least. Stephanie was like, I completely understand what you're saying, and after I'm done dealing with Rollins, I'll see if I can talk to Mick Foley and get this match canceled. He was like, okay, thank you. Then we had a cruiserweight match that, once again, didn't last that long. Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali. It was a good match, but like I said, it didn't go that long. They're not giving them enough time. This is why 205 Live is good for the cruiserweights, because it gives them that time that they actually need to put on, these decent matches. They can work. They're just not getting enough time to do so. So I thought that Mustafa was going to beat Tony Nese, but it seems like they're trying to build up Tony Nese a little bit more. And he won this match with a running knee in the corner. Like, he exposed his knee brace or whatever and ran at this man and just destroyed him with his knee. Picked up the victory. But what was key was after the match, and this was hilarious. At the top of the ramp, Austin Aries does commentary for the cruiserweight matches, and he's on 205 Live as a commentator. He went to interview him. He was asking, about his charisma. What does he think about people saying he has a lack of charisma, and having a conversation with him is like talking to a wall or something like that. And Tony Nese was obviously pissed off, and Aries was trying to reiterate that these weren't his words. These were the words of the people in the WWE. And, he was just like, he looked at him, he was like, I don't have to answer questions from my critics. And then Austin Aries just so hilariously was just like, well, you heard it, guys. He's not answering questions from any of his critics, so don't ask him any questions. And he just no-sold them like he wasn't throwing a shot at him. Austin Aries brushed it off like, oh, well, he's obviously not talking about me because I'm not criticizing him. He's talking about y'all. So it was just hilarious how that all played out. I just love Austin Aries, and he's obviously going to the Cruiserweight division when he's good and ready, when he's all healed up. And I can't wait to see that. He'll be that star name that they could actually use to better 205 Live. Not that it's bad, but this is definitely somebody that can help them out. It wouldn't be a bad thing to have him there. So after that, we had Stephanie McMahon and Seth Rollins had their little segment. A great segment here. Seth came out to the ring, said he was banned from the building last night, and tonight he's not. So he knows Stephanie is pissed that he went to NXT, but the $1 billion princess doesn't always get what she wants, so she can come out and suck it up, Buttercup. So that's when Stephanie came out, obviously pissed off at him. She gets in the ring. She says that Triple H isn't there, and Seth said, well, then I don't need to be talking to you. I don't care about what you have to say then. If Triple H ain't here, why are we talking? And asked when she was going to let Triple H off the leash. Stephanie said that he's scared of what he might do and that the monster will come out of him. The destroyer will come out of him. Stephanie said she asked him personally to stay away. So that's when Seth was like, he doesn't believe that, and she's obviously delusional and crazy. And that's when Stephanie was like, look what happened. He hasn't had any type of success since he's turned his back on the Authority. He hasn't won a championship. He got hurt. He wasn't in the Royal Rumble match. And she said he should be begging for their forgiveness, but instead he's out here running his mouth. That's when Seth was like, all right, you know what? I do owe you an apology. I'm sorry that over the past few months, I've exposed your husband for the gutless snake that he is. And Seth said he went to NXT to prove that he actually was a gutless snake. He had his security do his dirty work for him, and he said that he's the greatest threat to Triple H's legacy that he's ever seen. And Stephanie knows it too. That's when Steph looked at him and said she looks at him with disgust and talks about Triple H being the king and being a destroyer, and if he keeps playing the game, he'll be the architect of his own demise. I love that sentence that she said. Seth was just like, I have nothing left to lose. Literally, I have nothing left to lose. I've lost everything. So what happens when he invades the board meetings? How are the suits going to feel about that? How is her father going to feel about that? How is her children going to feel? And he got personal. He said, how is her children going to feel when he shows up on their doorstep and one of her kids opens up the doors? How are they going to feel about that? And he won't stop till he gets his hands on the destroyer. Stephanie looked like she wanted to slap the hell out of him, but she deferred. She walked away, and as she's getting out the ring, she said she lied. She said that Triple H is actually on his way here right now to get at Seth and to go at him. The Destroyer is on his way. And Seth was like, yes, yeah, Triple H is coming, sweet. And this was a great segment. I love how personal this feud has gotten. I love how much it means. And I love how Seth will be put over after this whole thing is over. This is a great feud for him as a babyface. Especially when he said, I have nothing left to lose. I absolutely love that line right there. Because he doesn't. He has nothing left to lose. He lost the Shield. He risked it all to go to the Authority. And then, he had the world. He had J&J Security. He had Kane. He had Big Show. Triple H, Stephanie. They were all behind him. He had the WWE World title after he won Money in the Bank. He beat Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. He won the title in the main event, stole the show, stole the title, and then his knee gave out on him. Then he lost his title, came back, went after Roman Reigns, beat him clean, and then lost to Dean when Dean cashed in Money in the Bank on him, and now he really has nothing. He has no friends, he has nothing. He lost a spot in the Royal Rumble, he has nothing left. And the man he feels is responsible for it is Triple H. And that's who's responsible for it, because Triple H screwed him out of the Universal title match when they had the Fatal 4-Way after Finn had to vacate the title. So this is why it's gotten so personal, and he's really, 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 really anxious to get his hands on Triple H. So I love this storyline. I love what they're doing here. I'm giving Raw credit. This is surprising. What's going on here? Next match we got, and this is where I stop giving them credit. Cesaro, Sheamus, and Bayley versus Anderson, Gallows, and Charlotte in a 6-man mixed tag match gimmick. This match was all over the place. Even Charlotte was trying to interfere in the match. The match didn't go on long, too. Anderson and Gallows working over Cesaro and Sheamus, and they pretty much had the advantage. And then Bayley got the pin on Charlotte. And that's when I'm just like, what? Wait, hold up. So you come from last night where Charlotte I wouldn't say she dominated Bayley, but the ending of the match, she dominated Bayley. And, retained her title, continued the streak. But then we come to Monday Night Raw, and once again, Charlotte takes her, third or fourth pinfall to Bayley. How does this make sense? I really don't understand it. How does this make sense? I know you want to continue the feud. You want to give Bayley another chance to go after the Women's Championship. But you have her pin Charlotte one more time? Really? Just for... By the time we get to WrestleMania, it's not going to feel special. Because Bayley's just going to keep pinning her on Monday Night Raw. We're going to get to Mania, and then she's going to beat her at the pay-per-view, and it'll be her 6th or 7th time beating her by then. What is the point? You got to give the crowd a reason to get behind Bayley. She keeps getting screwed over or something like that. Or she keeps coming this close, and she can't beat Charlotte. Why isn't Charlotte winning on Raw? What's the beef with Raw? She can win on every single pay-per-view, but she can't win on Monday Night Raw? Why? Why is that a thing? Why are we booking her that way? And why is Bayley not selling the fact that she lost? She came out no Soul Jones and just beat Charlotte. It was just no problem. I know it was a tag team match, but she still got the pin. She got the pin. She pinned the women's champion. So it's just like you're taking away from the value of the title and the value of the champion at that point. That'll just be like how Miz's heel work is, and then he just kept losing the title every time on Raw. On SmackDown, or he just kept losing matches on SmackDown. But when it came to the pay-per-views, then he just wins every time. That's stupid. I don't like the way they're booking either one of these ladies right now. And this feud could be great, but they're not booking it correctly. They just need to get it together. You got to make Charlotte look like an obstacle. She's only an obstacle during pay-per-views. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, I had to rant on that a little bit, but it just doesn't make any sense. So after we had that match, we had Stephanie in her office once again. Mick Foley came in all, excited about the Universal Championship match, and she buried him. She was just like, is something going wrong? Like, why are you acting stupid? Why would you book that match without talking to me about it first? And, she was just burying him. He was just like, I can assure you that I'm not stupid. And maybe, I look a little bit stupid right now because I didn't, come to you. And for that, I apologize. Maybe I should have just went about that a different way. But you did this thing last week where Triple H's music hits and he didn't show up. And I'm not stupid. Stephanie was like, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. You're not stupid. I know you're not stupid, but I can assure you that Triple H will be here tonight. And he's on his way. I can guarantee you. I'm giving you my word. And then Foley was like, well, let me keep my word and give him Braun Strowman a Universal Championship match against Owens. And, Stephanie was like, all right, fine, you can do that. Then Foley tried to joke with her. He was just like, as long as nobody plays Triple H's music and he's not there. He tried to high-five Stephanie, and Stephanie just looked at him like, really? Really? You really gonna bring that up? Get the hell out of my office. And then he was just like, oh, well, this is awkward, and he just bounced. We had the coronation of Neville, the new Cruiserweight champion, the king of the Cruiserweights, the self-proclaimed king of the Cruiserweights. Neville said he's the king, and the title is his crown, and 205 Live is his throne. He said he proved everybody wrong. No one ever believed in him, and he's the undisputed king of the Cruiserweights. Just pretty much burying the crowd. He just had a problem with, them forgetting about him and them not thinking he could ever amount to anything. Rich Swann comes out, says it pains him to see Neville with his title, and he would love to throw fists, but he'll wait for his opportunity. He says, then Neville was like, so why are you here then? And Swann says that he doesn't want to hear, all that mess that he's talking about, the WWE Universe. Everything that's wrong with him in the crowd is all in his head. And he says Neville is one of the very best he's ever faced, and he proved that last night, and he respects it. And he put his hand out to shake him, for him to shake, and just to show him some respect. He beat him fair and square, and he was just trying to show him his respects or whatever. And Neville was just like, when are you gonna get it? You don't offer your hand to your king. You bend a knee and you bow. And Swann just looked at him like, dude, are you freaking serious? And he was just like, you know what? Forget you. Whatever. I'm done here. I'm walking away. And then Neville was like, you never turn your back on your king. And that's when they started fighting. They started throwing them hands and kicks. They were just going at it. And Swann came out on top of this exchange. They're going to have their rematch pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to happen on 205 Live. I don't know if they confirmed that, or maybe I missed it. But this is going to be a good match. The first match was good. Last night was good. So we'll see when they have their second match. I'm glad they had this nice little promo segment to put emphasis on the Cruiserweights a little bit more, especially surrounding the championship, rather than them having a meaningless 8-man tag match. that goes for 2 minutes. So this was cool. I like this. I like what they're doing here. Like I said, Raw was pretty good tonight. A few things that I didn't like, but that's bound to happen in a 3-hour show. So after that, I think, did we have, I feel like I missed a match. Did we have Nia Jax versus Sasha after this? Or something like that? No, we didn't have that match yet. We had Bayley going to check on Sasha, who was getting her knee taped up because she had a rematch with Nia Jax. And Bayley was telling her she should wait till her knee is healed up because she doesn't have anything to prove. She's a 3-time women's champion, and she's fine. And Sasha hopped up immediately and was just like, no, I have everything to prove. I'm not okay with coming up short. And when she said it, I'm just like, dang, was that a shot at Bayley? Are we turning Sasha heel here pretty soon? Because that sounded like something she was saying her heel self. That didn't sound like happy-go-lucky Sasha. She didn't say, oh, well, you know, it's okay, Bayley. I got to go out there and give it my all. No. Sasha had attitude when she said that. And Bayley looked and she was just like, oh, well, dang, my bad. My bad for checking on you then. We had Jericho and Owens preparing for Owens' match. Well, not preparing, but Jericho had to break the news to him that the match was still on. Owens got mad and said he's sick of Foley making things hard for him. And he says that he needs Chris's help because he's hurt right now. Owens said, you know, they can't main event WrestleMania if he loses the title. And Jericho was just kind of like, I don't really want to help you with the Strowman, but yeah, sure, I guess. He just wasn't, you know, all in like he normally is. He wasn't like, yeah, this is the Chris and Kevin show. Yeah, we're both Universal Champion and U.S. Champion. No, Jericho was like, well, if you lose, we're still both the United States Champion. Jericho ain't want no parts of the Strowman. He didn't. He didn't want no parts. And Owens was like, dude, I need you in my corner. I need you. You have my back. Do you have my back? I need you to have my back. Jericho was hesitant. He was like, yeah, of course I have your back. You're my best friend. Of course, I'm going to be there for you. That's fine. And then the match happens. But before it happens, we have Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho come out, and Jericho goes to the commentary table because, like I said, he didn't want no parts of Braun Strowman. He said, "Fuck that, I'm going to commentary." Owens went up to him like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, dude, you're supposed to go to the ring with me. You're supposed to have my back." And Jericho was like, look, I'm going to just sit here for a minute. They were just talking to each other. You couldn't hear what they were saying. But Jericho was like, I got a plan. He was pointing to his head. I got a plan. Don't worry. I got your back. Yeah, you go to the ring. You go handle that. But I'm going to stay right here for a minute. I got it. I got a plan. It's going to all work itself out. That's what I got from that. And Owens was just like, all right, whatever. And then he just limped to the ring. Because, like I said, he was selling his injuries and everything. He was hurt. And that's when Braun Strowman came out. And as Braun Strowman goes to walk to the ring, he runs at Chris Jericho, who's right on the edge of the commentary table. He runs at him, and he puts a boot to his chest. And the Raw commentary team got the hell out of there. And Strowman took off the covering to the announce table, and he chokeslammed Chris Jericho's ass through that announce table. Because he already knew if Jericho was going to interfere in the match, it was a chance he wasn't going to win. So what he did, he took out Chris Jericho. He eliminated him. And Owens is just in the ring like, oh, shit. This is bad, isn't it? He just took out Chris Jericho. Now I have no help. And so the match happens. And, you know, Strowman got in there and started killing him, of course. Owens got little to no offense. He got offense near the end of the match or when the match got stopped. But Strowman was killing him for the most part. He was just throwing him into the barricades and all that stuff. But Owens was able to throw him or let him run into the barricade, and he hit him with the, what is that, the cannonball? Yeah, the little running cannonball. He got into the ring, started hitting him with the running senton and everything. Then he hit a frog splash on him. That was the only pinfall he was able to pull off on Strowman. And, you know, as Strowman is about to finish off the match, guess who comes out? Yep, you guessed it, the Roman and the Reigns. So we got Roman coming out. Obviously pissed from last night because not only did he get screwed out of the Universal Championship match by Strowman, but he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble. So he's hot. The crowd was booing him, of course. I still think they're going to turn him heel eventually. They're leading up to it. And I'm going to make a video about that because I feel like it went over my head when it happened about Roman Reigns. I'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. I'm going to drop a video on that about maybe they're possibly actually turning him heel and how they're doing it, because Roman got heat last night. And like I said, I'll make a video and I'll talk about it later. But Roman came out, hit 3 Superman punches on Strowman, couldn't take him out. even though, he clotheslined him out the ring. And then Strowman is just struggling to stay up. Roman hops off of the steel stairs and spears him. Takes him down. Takes him straight down. One spear. It was it. And then Roman gets into the ring and then he spears Kevin Owens. And he walks away. Didn't say nothing. Nothing at all. He just kicked ass and left. Perfect. That's fine. I have nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Except for the fact that Kevin Owens doesn't win or lose a match clean. Or doesn't win a match clean. Even though I knew he wasn't going to. I knew Roman was going to come out. But I just got a problem. Has Kevin Owens won any match clean since he became Universal Champion? Because I don't think so. I'm pretty sure all of his matches have either been assisted by somebody or Chris Jericho. Or so he's found some way to cheat to win. I don't know. I'm not too sure on that. I got to look that up. But I don't think I don't think Owens has won a match clean since being Universal Champion. I got a problem with that. That's not good. He's the Universal Champion. We got to make him legitimate at least a few times. So after that, we get a limo pulling up, and everybody thought it was Triple H, but it wasn't. It was Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar showed up with Paul Heyman, and they were headed straight to the ring. And they came back from commercial. They come straight out, and then Paul Heyman gets on the mic and drops another great promo. Like, this was another good segment. And for once, it has something to do with Brock, even though Brock doesn't say anything. So Paul Heyman gets on the mic, not in his usual form. He wasn't putting over Brock as much as he should have been, or as much as he normally does. But he said, all great people are great until they fall from grace, until something happens that tarnishes their legacy. Andre the Giant was undefeated for 15 years. Yeah, but he faced Hulk Hogan. He dropped a yeah, but promo. That was the whole basis of this promo here. He said John Cena, was the staple for WWE. Yeah, but he faced Brock Lesnar. Ronda Rousey was on top of the UFC. Yeah, but she got her ass kicked by Holly Holm. And then he was just talking about that. He was like, he talked about Brock getting eliminated from the Rumble. He says every time he talks about Lesnar, there's the yeah, but Goldberg. And, he truly, truly despises yeah, but. Like I said, it tarnishes your legacy. It takes away from what you accomplish. It must be eradicated. Because, and then he said, this is the moment you hit the record button. He challenges Goldberg, Brock that is, one more time at WrestleMania. He says he's going to victimize him and offer him a yeah, but at WrestleMania. It's going to be, yeah, Goldberg beat Brock, 2-3 straight times, eliminated him from the Rumble. Yeah, but WrestleMania. So, these two are going to face off one more time, hopefully for the last time ever, at WrestleMania. And thank God it's not going to be in the main event. I would have really not enjoyed that. And it might be. Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Because Goldberg is advertised for Fastlane. I don't know what he's going to be doing yet. And he's going to be on Raw next week. So I guess we'll get some clarity as to what Goldberg's going to be doing. So we'll just stay tuned to see how this progresses, and hopefully they don't do anything stupid. Next, we had Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks, another squash match, but Nia put Sasha in this submission hold, and she was like sitting on her back, but she had her left knee, her injured knee, wrenched over or something. I don't know what it was. It was a different submission. She had her knee wrenched over, and the bell rang. Sasha didn't tap, and the ref didn't stop the match. The bell just rung, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" And it was just really, really confusing. But the match just stopped, and they tried to say the ref stopped the match, even though he didn't. I don't know. It was really stupid. I don't know if that was a mistake by the bell keeper or timekeeper or whatever. But yeah, the match was over after that. Nia wins again. She's building up steam and building up some more heat. And then Bayley came out to check on Sasha to make sure she was okay. But she didn't mess with Nia. She just motioned for the ref to get her off of her. And she didn't have any exchange with Nia. She was just like, "Hey, I'm just checking on my friend. I don't want no parts of you." And then after that, we got a stupid tag team tornado match, which I haven't really seen a tag team tornado match just without weapons or anything in a long time. So that was just weird, just random match. But hopefully this is the ending to Enzo and Cass and Rusev with Jinder Mahal, who obviously is on some type of drugs, because that man is just juiced to the max. Man, this match was stupid. I didn't really watch it that much. Didn't really pay attention. But all you need to know is that Enzo and Cass won. That's all you need to know. Rusev's nose was broken. Lana's trying to put him over his beautiful Rusev. This match was all over the place. They were jumping, both of them. Jinder and Rusev was jumping, both of them. They came back. They won. That's all you need to know. Match didn't really matter. And then we got the ending of Monday Night Raw, where another limo pulls up. And this time, it's actually Triple H. So, Triple H comes out to the ring. They come back from commercial. This is the last segment of Raw. Triple H comes to the ring and just drops another incredible promo on Seth Rollins. It's like we get incredible promos from Paul Heyman and Triple H, and we had a nice one from Stephanie and Seth, but nobody else is dropping these good promos. Like, this is promo class 101. All you got to do is watch this. Watch Raw and watch those 3 segments where incredible promos are dropped. So Triple H comes out, starts talking about Seth, says he made him a star and sang all his praises and helped him become the first NXT champion, ironically enough, go on to be the leader of the Shield, and standing by his side, Seth became the man. He became the face of the WWE. He became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and everything he wanted out of the business and more, he had it. All he had to do was hold up his end of the bargain. But he couldn't do it, could he? The pressure was too much for him. It weighed too heavy on his shoulders, and his leg gave out. And then he started mimicking him. He was like, he came to the ring and he cried about it, and he had to give up the title, and he said, I can't be champion anymore, my leg is injured. And then he said he spit in his face by doing that. And then he came back like the world didn't turn without him. And without Triple H by his side, Seth became a massive failure and didn't take any responsibility for it. He started blaming it on everybody else. And he blamed it on Triple H. And Triple H is supposed to apologize to him. But he doesn't owe him any apology. If anything, Seth owes him an apology for spitting in his face. He says it's hard for him not to come to the ring and just, do the things that he knows he can do. Because his wife asked him not to do so. He's trying hard not to be that guy anymore. The one who ends careers. He's trying to do something more. He's trying to be a creator and not a destroyer. But a guy like Seth wants to come to NXT where he's trying to create the next Seth freaking Rollins. And he's just pushing his buttons, so he's done trying. He's done. He takes off his blazer and starts removing his shirt and starts rolling his sleeves up a little bit and tells Seth to get his ass to the ring and meet his destroyer. And right on cue, Seth Rollins comes out, didn't waste no time, but it was kind of awkward. He just stood there for a minute, just realized that Triple H was right there for the taking, right there for him to fight him, took his shirt off, took a deep breath, and started walking towards the ring. And right as he got to the outside of the ring, bam, he gets hit. Samoa Joe, out of nowhere, comes out of nowhere and just starts kicking Seth Rollins' ass. Throwing him into the barricade, the ring post, everything. Just kicking this man's ass. I went crazy. I'm like, yes, Samoa Joe is here. Awesome. He's using Samoa Joe so that him and Seth don't touch yet. Perfect. Great booking. I loved it. Seth got thrown back into the ring by Samoa Joe. And at this point, Triple H is just walking away. Just giving his, approval to Samoa Joe. One of his NXT guys that, was a 2-time NXT champion, the first ever 2-time NXT champion. He got him into the ring, hit a couple running sentons, started beating him up a little bit more, and then he put him in the coquina clutch and choked Seth Rollins out. And that's how Monday Night Raw ended, with Samoa Joe choking out Seth Rollins and Triple H just walking away. Excellent! Excellent! Perfect! You're building sympathy for Seth. Even though the crowd popped for Samoa Joe, they're going to feel bad for Seth because they thought that was the moment. Yeah, Seth is going to get his revenge on Triple H. Triple H turned his back on him. Seth is going to get that revenge. He's going to get that continuity that he needs. He's going to get that. Nope, he didn't get it yet. What he got was a Samoan badass named Samoa Joe. And he's on Monday Night Raw, which surprises me, but at the same time, it's alright because it's going to make sense and it's going to help out with fresh matchups on Monday Night Raw. And going forward, we'll see what Samoa Joe's WrestleMania plans are. I guess he isn't going to face John Cena, which is alright. There's future for that, but I'm just excited. Raw was a good show. As you can tell by this long-ass review that I just did, I enjoyed Raw. I'm going to give it a B+. Raw surprised me. They came out, had a good show. 2 or 3 things I didn't really care about. The mixed tag match and the, what other match? The Rusev and Jinder Mahal versus Enzo and Cass match. Couldn't care less. We didn't see New Day either. Where the hell was New Day at? Didn't see New Day. Just thought about that. But that's alright. Raw was a good show. I'm excited for what they're going to do next week, which is a first. Usually I'm just dreading watching Raw, but for once I'm excited about what they're going to do. And yeah, we'll see where they go from here. Samoa Joe finally debuted on the main roster, and he's entwined in the Seth Rollins and Triple H storyline, an obstacle for Seth to get through. This is how you build sympathy for your baby faces. You're making Seth Rollins feel important doing this thing. And, you know, you're getting Samoa Joe over at the same time as being a badass. So we'll see where it goes from here. Let me know what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw down in the comment section. It wasn't the perfect Monday Night Raw, but it was good enough for me to stay entertained. Slap a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.